Hello again and welcome to Techturks. Today I'm very excited to be talking to Tokpe, a co-founder of Scrapay. Scrapay is a company that takes your recyclable waste, collects it, and you make money from it. But Tokpe, I'm sure you can describe Scrapay better.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me on the call today.
Thanks for coming. So, before we start, I did some background checks on you, and I found that you actually did some very exciting stuff before you started Scrapay. So, can you just briefly just give us like a 2-minute summary of your journey into Scrapay?
Oh, okay. So for Scrapay, it started in university because I have a BSc in Applied Geology, Environmental Sciences. So with that environmental sciences, one of the core projects we intended to do was how to give back and create social enterprises. So at the time we had multiple businesses that we were looking to get into. One was generating electricity from living plants, and we were unable to scale that because of the cost of batteries. And the other was what we intended to do for people who were recovering recyclable materials. And what we found out was they were a lot of persons who were doing this and were not making up to $10 in an entire month. So our objective became how we're going to be able to help this set of persons to do better for themselves and make prosperity from collecting recyclable materials.
Okay, when I think about it, sometimes they collect people's scrap, pay them for it, and then you recycle it or you send it you now sell it off to a recycling plant.
Okay, so when we started, it was having an entire ecosystem to be able to do end-to-end. But what we've realized is there are a lot of other companies that have tried to do this, but scaling has been very difficult, right? So what we decided to do is to build a system of software-based system that aggregates individuals. So for us, we have people referred to as agents, which is similar to the mobile money agent network. And these are persons who lease their spaces and collect recyclable materials in their spaces. So for them, they are collecting recyclable materials in their community and also storing the recyclable materials. For us, this takes away the need for warehousing completely, because these individuals in their own maybe homes, in their shops, are able to do this and collect these materials for us. We are able to provide them with software technology to connect them with waste producers who have the recyclable materials. We're also able to provide them with an IoT device that allows them to take inventory of their stock, because primarily we know that people in this market do not actually take inventory of what they have and they don't manage the business correctly. So the mobile application and the IoT device allows them to take inventory of their stock, allows them to know exactly how much they're going to make and what volume of materials, also connecting them with people.
I have lots of waste.
Yes.
I use lots of waste, all kinds, especially aluminium and all my devices and gadgets like that and battery.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I said, okay, you know what? I want to start doing that, right?
Yeah.
I live in Oniru here. Take me through the steps, simple steps, so that people who are watching this can say, okay,
So for you as an individual, what you typically do is we have a USSD system, *347 *477 hash, that allows individuals, whether you have a smartphone or you don't have a smartphone, to be able to make a pickup request from that USSD channel. That USSD channel also has a wallet integration to it that allows you to also receive funds and also pay out, do all banking transactions on the USSD channel. So first you can dial that USSD code, and what we do is we get the closest agent to you, match you with that closest agent. We can also do this with our WhatsApp bot, because we also have a WhatsApp bot.
That is better for
because because what we've realized is for a lot of persons, internet connectivity and all of that for USSD is not very smooth. But what we did again is to build a restore session into our USSD, so that even if you have a network downtime anytime during the session, you can come back and still get back to where you were. So there's a WhatsApp bot that also allows you to do this. So when you then dial the USSD, even before dialing the USSD, you would see on that USSD all of the material types that will recover and the prices you will get on a kilogram basis for those materials that you're disposing correctly. So when we then pair you with that person, so it's either you drive to the person's location or the person comes to you depending on proximity and uses that IoT device that we give to our agent to weigh your materials.
Okay, so let me stop you there. So how do I know? I have all these materials. I have batteries, I have paper, I have certain things. I know that in the UK, you're provided with the different containers. I mean, like, what do I do in my case?
Okay, so in our case, what we advocate is you need not have those container bags. What you need to do is just to put them separately. Okay. Your office papers or your notebooks, whatever the case is, your aluminum cans, you put them together, your PET bottles, you put them together. And when the person comes there, so what the person also does for us is not only collect the materials, but also properly sort the materials while he's collecting the material, because sorting is a very big challenge also for individuals in their household. So what we do is either when you get the item to the agent location or the agent comes over to you, the first thing that is done is to properly sort the materials into its component parts before it is then taken off by the agent. So
okay, so that's great. So like then he weighs it and then he credits my account.
Yeah, it credits your wallet, which is definitely your phone number. Then
presto. So trust issues. How do you select what is the criteria for agents? How do I know I'm not, beginning to divulge information to one criminal who's going to come to my house?
Thank you very much. So on our mobile application, because our agents, they sign up using a mobile application, there's a KYC process, right? So the KYC used to be very tedious, but right now with what we've done with Smile Identity, it's become easier. So they provide us with their NIN and we're able to pull their actual data, and they are approved through the KYC process, right? So on that hand, it means that we're only going to be giving you individuals that we can provide you information about them, right? And also next of kin, we also take next of kin details just so that we can extra be careful on the persons that we send to you or you go to dispose of.
Okay, so fantastic. I mean, and you are in Lagos, in most parts of Lagos?
Yeah, so we're in most parts of Lagos right now. So what we've also seen is because of the category of persons we're targeting, we are more operational in some parts of Lagos compared to the other. For instance,
you go where the waste is.
Yes, for instance, all of Lagos West, which is Badagry, Badagry up down to areas around Mile 2, we're very active in those axes because we see that there are a lot of persons already in the business there and we're able to optimize. The same thing in Ikorodu axis of Lagos, from K2 down to Ikorodu axis of Lagos, we're also very active, and in Abulegba axis. On the highland, we haven't had a lot of success, primarily because of one thing is space. A lot of our agents, one of the requirements is they need to have space to be able to properly store recyclable materials, and which is also a challenge for us. But yes, we have agents on the island that are also servicing persons, but proximity is not very there at the moment.
So to be an agent, what kind of space are we talking about?
Oh yeah, so what we only require is just about a space that is enough for a saloon car, say for instance, a 7 by 3 feet space.
So not that much, actually.
Not that much.
So I can be an agent and a collector at the same time?
Yes, you can be an agent and a collector at the same time, and you have a commissions for every kilogram of materials you collect or you store, or if you provide both services, you'll be able to get commissions for collecting and commissions for storing materials in your own space.
Okay, so tell us about numbers. So in terms of the good work that you have done, it's good to know how many kilograms of waste have you saved? Have you collected and saved the planet from carbon
in terms of numbers, if we look at it in detail, today we have been able to recover over 510 tons of recyclable materials. So when we say 510 tons, that's 510,000 kilograms of recyclable materials. And the interesting thing about recyclable materials is they are very bulky. So which means that a 30-ton truck might only move about maybe 3 or 4 tons of recyclable materials, except they are processed, right? So which is where the logistic component and how that supply chain needs to go. So, but that is what we've done in kilogram. If we convert this to CO2 emission save, like you mentioned, in 2022 alone, in terms of number of cars we've taken off the streets, it's about 1,400 saloon cars in CO2 emissions that was saved only in 2022 from recovering those recyclable materials alone, right? So we can also speak to economics of what those agents make and how we're able to also grow them, because it's key for us to monitor what they are doing from when they join us to over the next 4, 5, 6 months that they are working with us, and we're able to get the numbers.
So what about carbon credits? Do you get any, there's that economic...
Yeah, so at the moment, we are currently speaking with a few persons in terms of carbon credit. We've seen that the methodology right now is a bit not clearly defined, primarily because what we're doing is not directly recycling into finished goods. Rather, we're creating a network that allows us to recover more and more materials as we get more persons. So at the moment, we are working with an agency that is helping us to completely line out the methodology and get them approved before we can then start to have carbon credit and plastic credit, which is a separate component as well, into our business model. But it's something we're closely looking at. We've seen other businesses, for instance, I would mention Power Stove, OKSA, who are in the agricultural space, and they have been able to very well explore and exploit carbon credit, and it's something similar that we're looking to do for plastic and recyclables in general.
Okay, and like of course, funding to continue to operate, to scale, build out that ecosystem. I mean, certainly you must qualify for some of those green funding that is
absolutely
everywhere.
So for us, we are able to pitch our net into 3 different spaces. We are a tech solution with an IoT component, right? So the easiest way to look at it is Paga, or the mobile money that has a terminal for all of their agent businesses, and they're able to grow using that. So there's an asset financing component also of that we're looking at to speak to asset financiers to help us to continue to manufacture those assets that we manufacture in China and bring them down here. We're also looking at definitely the grants, and also looking at a lot of those people in that ecosystem to say, okay, what do we qualify for? And we're also definitely looking at VCs, because we also have a VC currently working with us at the moment, and we're looking to raise more VC funds as we go along. But because of our spread, we're able to look at grants, we're able to look at VC funding, we're able to look at also direct impact investment as well.
A couple of more questions. So how big is your network, your ecosystem, when we talk about customers and agents?
So currently we have about 1,500 registered agents across. This month of April, we launched in Ondo State, across 3 places in Ondo State as well. So we have 1,500 registered agents, and about 40% of them are active day to day, because there's a metric for being active that we look at. So in terms of number of customers that they service, because they service over 15 to 20,000 customers in terms of waste producers that they're able to service month on month.
Impressive. And do you have any data on like the diversity? What percentage of men, women
Absolutely,
that are driving this
absolutely.
business?
It's a very interesting conversation for us. So we have about a 62% male and a 38% female. However, what we've seen is our female agents are more active in terms of volume that they're able to recover compared to the male folks. That also means that the revenue that they are generating from becoming an active agent is more than the male folk, but in terms of number, we have more male agents in our network than the female, but the females are outperforming the male agents that we currently have.
So last question, I mean 1,500 agents with 20,000 customers. So where do you see Scrapay in terms of product solutions, ecosystem in the next 12 months?
Okay, so primarily what we're looking at is, I would say, for context, we'll be looking at Paga or OPay, because you would see that Paga pioneered, or literally almost pioneered. Some banks have been doing that before Paga came in, but they were the forerunners of that. So for us, what we're looking at is to be able to scale in 12 months to over 25,000 active agents across the country. And we're starting with Southwest. We're currently in 3 Southwest states at the moment. We have interest all over the country at the moment, but we're scaling region by region, because logistics component is also a very key factor. Right, so what we're looking to do is 25,000 active agents over the next 12 months, and that means that they will be able to service millions of customers on a month-to-month basis. So that's what we're looking at. Post 12 months, we're also directly looking at other African markets, because we've had conversations in Uganda, we've had conversations in Ghana, so East Africa, South Africa, West Africa. These are places where they have the same challenge of recovering recycled materials, and having an ecosystem and technology that allows individuals we have a lot of options. Either we go there directly, or we white label for existing companies that are there for them to use our solution and create that roadmap for them to work as well. So that's what we're looking at.
Fantastic, definitely ambitious plan. Dr. Thank you for coming on Techturks, and we'll continue the conversation offline.
Thank you very much for having me today.
Thank you. Yeah.